So, fellas, we gotta talk a little Jeanie Buss. She's making a debut on Couch Coach Live, and the first time in what 8 years of existence. We got a Jeanie Buss story. So you know how we are. You know it's 4th of July. You know we think nothing of it. You know Eastern Standard Time, my time, 4 o'clock in the after 4 o'clock in the morning. Jordan, that's probably what, about 2 o'clock your time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 1 o'clock in Jeanie Buss on 4th of July. She had this tweet, and I'll read it out loud. I miss KB. He would understand and explain everything that I am not allowed to. Honestly, he was the greatest Laker ever. He understood the team over self, meaning your awards will come to you if you value team goals over your own, then everything would fall into place. All can reply. So we know who brought the smoke to the fireworks show this holiday. Jeanie Buss. Perhaps. So, fellas, I need you in your personal opinion to decode this tweet. Your thoughts on Jeanie Buss and that explosive 4th of July tweet. I'm gonna go with you first, Joy.
Well, I kind of see where she's coming from because of the fact that, you know, they had a bad year last year. They thought bringing in Russell Westbrook with Anthony Davis and LeBron James would do it. But if we saw what Russell Westbrook was more of a player that only cares about himself, he doesn't care about his team. LeBron's kind of the same way, although I think he cares more about how the Lakers are playing. Same with Anthony Davis. It's just a weird crypto tweet. But the thing is, though, she wants to win, and she wishes she had that leadership with Kobe Bryant. And we've seen that with Kobe Bryant. We've seen that with, I'm going way back with Michael Jordan. They cared about how their team did, not necessarily, you know, their team stats. If you look at it in today's game, it really seems like Russell Westbrook cares about his team stats and not how they're doing. So I think that's where she's hinting at, saying, you know, I wish we had a player like Kobe Bryant to actually be a leader on this team, which LeBron kind of is, to actually, you know, get us together and actually play well and, you know, win another championship. But we need that leadership.
Yeah. Maui, what you got?
I must be missing something, because Kobe Bryant was one of the selfish players I have ever seen in my life. I just heard him tell somebody was on a podcast and said Kobe used to go off on people and say, you know what, they're not working hard enough, so I'm not passing them the damn ball. And Kobe Bryant got a lot of coaches fired. And I understand, because he passed away. People have forgotten how many players that signed deals because of Kobe Bryant. That Luol Deng's contract just was over. That's who Kobe wanted. Oh my goodness. Coaches got fired. If someone coach was there for 3 weeks, a month. I'm just shocked. I think she was on that Casamigos, and I think she just threw something out there just so people can talk. Yes, Westbrook was extremely selfish. That's why you should have gave up that damn 2027 and got John Wall. You know what the difference between John Wall and Westbrook is? John Wall was drafted, and he automatically was the face of the team. And he had to go through all the ups and downs and this, and that. Now, not saying that didn't happen to Westbrook, but we all know who team that was. You know what I mean? And then you know what they gave Westbrook? Every damn body. He played with everybody. He worse than LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, think how many stars he played with. I love Kobe Bryant too, but I'm not about to sit here and act like when Kobe, you could say he was the leader, but it was Fisher. It was those guys like that. I mean, come on, let's be honest, man. He was extremely selfish. He was. But I don't know. I'm not there, so I don't know really what she's talking about. Maybe Kobe Bryant had a certain way that he dealt with her. You know what I mean? Maybe because he has a lot of daughters. You know what I mean? He has daughters. So maybe he understood how to speak to a young lady, or speak to a lady that make her feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe with the situation that's surrounding her right now, he knew how to speak. He knew how to break it down to her and be able to, so she could be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like the same with like Magic was saying at one time, he was kind of like helping her in a certain type of way. You know what I mean? They had an opportunity. They fired the coach. They had an opportunity to get rid of GM too. which I think they should have done, but they didn't want to do that. They want so hard to not just give it to LeBron. Like, you know what I mean? They want, which me personally, I felt like every time, like when Kobe started doing well is when they got rid of the Shaq years, the people that was connected to that. So then he started doing well. They brought Phil back. You know what I mean? I felt like they should have done the same thing. You want to move forward. You want LeBron to be there. Why don't you move forward and let him? Because they never really ever give him control. But then he's to the point he don't want control because he's going to get blamed anyway. But anyway, that's what I think. I feel like it was kind of capped. She just want people to talk. But only one person I can see on the team that's selfish, and it's really Westbrook. You know, let's just be honest. It's really Westbrook.
Yeah, I think it was just one of the things where she was just in her emotions. She was in her feels.
Yeah, she was on that.
It got to think about the time. It was 1:11 a.m. on Monday morning. So she's in her feelings. And it's just like you said, it's like all, and then her saying all can reply. It's almost like she left it up to everybody's, discretion as far as how to handle that tweet. So she was ready for the smoke. That's why I think that last part had got me. And like the Kobe Bryant thing, I think it's just like you said. I think people, like you said, it's the amnesia. I'm serious, and it's nothing. Like we said, God rest the dead. We know we love Kobe. We talked about Kobe. I'm just saying we love Kobe. But we gotta remember, and nowadays we living in a world where people killing Kevin Durant because he requesting a trade. 17 years ago, Kobe Bryant wanted to go to Chicago. I was all said and done to a point where he was getting ready to buy a house in Chicago.
Right.
So, though, when she's talking about, I'm thinking, and this is what I'm thinking, what she's doing. It's almost kind of the piggyback of what Sean Mark said about the Brooklyn Nets as far as they wanted people that's going to be unselfish and to be a part of the team. So, a part of me is almost like, I think this could be her warning to not get Kyrie Irving. I know that sounds crazy. But a part of me is like, I don't necessarily think, because to me, and like you said, when it comes to LeBron James has done the best he can. I mean, that man is 37 years old, 19th year in the NBA season, almost averaged 30 points a game. If it weren't for LeBron James, this team probably they wouldn't have had a number 1 overall pick. But would have went to the Pelicans. But I'm sorry. But I'm just saying it would have been that bad. It would have been the worst team in the Western Conference. Literally, if it weren't for LeBron James. So it's for him to play at that level, you got to give him credit. So I don't think it's LeBron. I don't think it's the Lakers. I think it's just the climate of what's going on in the league.
Right. And I'm even happy that people know it's not LeBron, because you start thinking, you're like, hold up. When David Stern passed, Kobe passed, it was LeBron who kind of took the leadership of the league and the Lakers. You know what I mean? And then you got the pandemic. Then everything was sitting on, like, everybody was like, even Pat Bev said, look, if the King want to play, then we gonna play. Because remember, they wanted to have meetings and all that type of stuff. And Pat Bev was like, you do know if the King want to play, we playing. You know what I'm saying? Boycott. So I'm just happy that they didn't blame him. I was very shocked. But I do think, Westbrook you good though, man. It might be Kyrie. It really might be Kyrie.
Because part of me is just like, because like I said, I don't necessarily think it's somebody on this Lakers team per se, but it's just, I think it's just one of the things where it's like, look, make it make sense for me. We try to get Kyrie Irving, and we gonna pretty much mortgage a fifth grader, a rising fifth grader for Russell Westbrook. I mean, for Kyrie Irving, my bad. Like, is it worth risking a fifth grader for Kyrie Irving?
It's weird, man, because those guys, to me, all those guys that wanted, like Kyrie, Harden, Kevin Durant, Westbrook, all 4 of those guys look so unhappy. They all look so unhappy, B. You know what I mean? And it's like, And maybe that's just part of it. Maybe they need to figure out a way to have that fun again playing ball.
That is true. When you're having fun, you're playing better. So
yeah,
good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be within. I mean, because at this point, it's what else can they do? I mean, and that's to a point where their unhappiness, and let's address the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. Their unhappiness is going to cause their future players in this league, and also from getting big deals, big extensions. Because who's going to lock down a guy for now 4 or 5 years, and now all this stuff is happening?
That's I've been thinking about that too.
I'm telling you, and I think with the CBA coming up, was it next year or I forgot what year it's coming up. It's coming up soon.
I always believe that's why the Lakers got Westbrook because of his contract.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, it's going to be a trickle effect, because now what's going to end up happening? Yeah, you got the player empowerment, but now the owners got it's not going to be fun when the Rabbit got the gun, and they're going to have the gun next CBA negotiations, and it's get to a point where, I mean, it's going to get crazy. I'm just saying,
man. Yeah. I've been thinking that too, man. I've been thinking that too.
That's the message y'all done made. Essentially, it's the bed that y'all done made. Unfortunately,
right. I've been paying attention. I'm like, man, a lot of these dudes talking about they want the super max and this and that. They play has declined. I don't care what nobody say. Like, that's one thing about Westbrook. I'm so tired of hearing what this is my game or this is my thing. Y'all remember the 2000s when the Lakers had every damn body? Mm-hmm. Did you hear Mitch Richmond saying that? Like, no. Mitch Richmond was like, no, I'm gonna get my 7 points and be in the corner and knock down these threes. Glenn Rice. Dangerous player, he ain't complaining. I'm gonna go ahead and get these threes up, I just don't understand that. It's basketball. Like, when you at a point you getting that much money, you can't just keep saying like, hey, this is my game. You're supposed to be able to transition your game and somehow. Like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. It's getting to that point. It's very, very unfortunate. It's gonna get a little crazy out here in these NBA streets.
Even Kevin Durant had to when he played the Warriors. I remember Draymond telling him, "No, you got to do this like this." You know what I mean? Hell, even Jordan, like Phil had to tell Jordan that, "Look, trust the system. Don't worry, I'm gonna let you get yours. Trust the system." And I'm just sitting here listening to, and I'm like, "That's crazy, man. Like, you really that mentally." So, like, just you, I never had a coach do that to me. It was him and his wife's anniversary. So I sent him a bottle of champagne and he didn't say anything. You wear a skirt. I wouldn't say nothing to you too.
Yeah,
Sorry.